My lovely, lovely, wonderful, beautiful people, a pleasant evening to you. All right, what I'm about to say, I really say this respectfully. I really and truly do. I'm not saying this, with any ill intention or any fun or anything that is just unseeming behind it. Parents, you see, if you are illiterate, dunce, backward, and your emotional intelligence is basically little to none or non existent, ensure that toxicity, that negativity is not passed on to your children or your grandchildren. Do whatever you can to ensure that they get a good education. Please. I say this humbly and I say this respectfully. Do not pass your dunceness from your generation onto the next generation and onto the next generation. One of the most sad things that I've noticed when I survey social media, TikTok in particular, is the horrible state of the grammar. And I don't know, not just the grammar, but the dreadful state of the spelling. When I tell you it is dreadful, it is really dreadful. It is almost like seeing the word, for example, receive, and receive is spelled Receive. And it's almost like somebody would be I use that word as an example for you to understand the level of dreadful and terror that I get from it. It's almost like they would spell receive Riseev, something like that. They literally spell it how they speak. They don't even say to themselves, let me Google to see how receive is spelled. And sometimes they're creating a so-called sentence. It's not really a sentence, it's a phrase. And you have no clue what it is that they're saying because every other word is incorrectly spelled and the grammar is off. So that tells a story that something went wrong in terms of when you went to school and whatever the teacher tried to impart on you. I don't know if it had to do with a mental issue, a physical issue, something to do with poor nutrition, a bad environment, bad home, bad parenting, your head tough, I don't know. Something contributed to that level of dunceness and illiteracy, backwardness, little to no emotional intelligence, little to no intelligence quotient, which is knowledge. And I just beseech of your parents, guardians, and friends, if you are dunce, do not pass that dunceness to the next generation. It is unfair. And that is why people's comprehension skills are poor. They don't understand what people are saying and they get dogmatic. It's almost like when somebody's inebriated, they lose control and cannot comprehend and hold a solid, even-tempered conversation. They get wild and wacky and enraged because this is the circumference of their knowledge, or very small as this whole. This is all that they know. This is all that they know when their brain should be like this and this and this. It is scary. It is unbelievable. I never knew I would grow up seeing something like this. It's horrendous. The spelling is dreadful. The grammar is terrible. And it is problematic because it affects how you converse with others, the kind of conversations that you have, and your level of reasoning. People don't even know how to communicate with you because they realize that, my goodness, you will not even understand. No matter how basic I take this conversation, you will not even understand it. And that is why most people like that will only surround themselves with mix up and blender, because they can't, the brain is not trained to house and to host solid conversations. Please. Ben Carson's mother was illiterate, and he found that out after he became a medical doctor. She hid it. She was very witty and smart in hiding it, because she wanted to ensure that that illiteracy would not have passed on to her son. And I'm begging of you, I implore you, do not pass that illiteracy down onto your children or grandchildren. Send them to school. Ensure that they can, even if they don't use it in their everyday conversation, but just in case they need to have the right conversations, they're able to hold a good conversation, a sound conversation, a solid conversation, the right conversation. Please. Some of us, we are so frightened by what we see. It is really and truly bad. It's if I'm not sure of a word and I'm writing something and I said, I can't remember how this particular words. I Google it, I check it out. I think I'm generally good at spelling words, but sometimes you will not necessarily remember. So check it before you send it. Please. Do me a beg you pass on the dunceness, man, picking them. Do. Please. A word to the wise is certainly sufficient unto the day. Guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lines, and you can follow me on Instagram.